I feel very tight in this region from doing 60 burpees on Wednesday. If you feel that way, take it nice and slow. This swing, we should be opening up through this chest, but not like yanking on super tight tissues. So it's like you're giving a double walk by low 5, swinging those palms back a little bit. Just allow things to warm up gradually. Take some breaths, feel other places in your body that might feel a little bit slow to warm up this morning. We're gonna do some movements, timed intervals to get ourselves warm. Then we're gonna do a squat and glute medius focused strength routine. Let's go ahead and take this to some step over hip openers. So it's just like we're just making a circle in the air with the knee. Starting from the inside, moving out. We'll reverse this, don't worry. I'm not a monster. Make you do it one direction and not the other. And then we have what I'm viewing as a pretty fun, kind of strength-based AMRAP at the end. Excited about it. Okay, as promised, let's go ahead and switch directions, starting from the outside, working back in. Think about keeping your core on. Get that balance going. You got it, you got it. I've heard if you say the alphabet backwards to yourself while you're trying to balance, it actually helps because it like gets you to stop thinking about it. Try that. Warm up your brain at the same time. Oh, let's just do some easy butt kickers here. Lengthen the quads. Ooh, I might as well roll the wrists a little bit here. Oh, those feel jacked up too. Why are my forearms so jacked? Jeez, yeah, oh yeah, right there. What's going on with that? Switch directions. Jen, you feeling that? You're doing some heavy clean and jerks there on Wednesday. I think that's probably what that's from. Oh, let's take this to a little push-pull, continuing to open up through the chest, getting the upper back a little bit warm here. This isn't even the warm-up. This is the pre-warm-up warm-up. Just to give you an idea of how I'm feeling. We need this extensive of a pre-warm-up warm-up. My gosh. All right, let's get into it. The warm-up is gonna be jumping jacks, slow air squats, and something else that I can, oh, good mornings. It's gonna be great. We're gonna start with jumping jacks. Here's a jumping jack. Let's do it. Tap out, we're gonna do these 3 times. This first round, take everything slow. No need to jump around just yet. Continue to warm up hips and shoulders. Warming up through the ankles a little bit. If you want a little hop out one leg, hop back in, great. Maybe go for a couple singles so we're not rebounding too much. Of course, if you want to get right into some jumping jacks, I'm not going to try to stop you necessarily. It's your life. Slow air squats. Go ahead, set up for your squat stance and just take this nice and slow, getting down towards the bottom of your squat, but acknowledge to yourself that we are going to improve upon the feelings we are feeling while we go through this. As you set the hips back, continue to be nice and long, tailbone out through the top of the head. Keep the front of your body turned on. Feel the weight in the center of each foot, all the way down, all the way back up. And then as you stand up, squeeze up nice and tall. Feet come together a little bit, and we're good morninging. Good morninging. So following that hip hinge down until you feel yourself get into the stretch from the heels all the way up around the corner of the hips, continuing to feel nice and long, tailbone out through the top of the head. That means the chin is going with everything else. Squeeze that up. Let's hit some jumping jacks again. Tap out, single leg hop outs, double leg hop outs. You could do some singles too, so you're kind of pausing on each end, controlling that landing. It's a nice kind of in between. I'm liking it. Yes, yes. Back to those slow motion air squats in 3, 2, 1. Set your feet, get nice and tight. Hang on to that tightness. Hinging at the hips, knees press out slightly, and then we continue to ride that down so that our knees have the feeling of being right over the center of each foot, all the way down, all the way up. Take your time with these. Be in that middle of the range of motion. Don't just skip by it. Squeeze all the way back up. Feet can come in a bit. Good mornings. If you want a more or a different challenge, you can take arms up to reverse fly or to that fly position. You could also take those arms overhead for your good morning. It's going to put more leverage on your back. It's going to challenge your overhead position. So mix it up as you like. Do a little of each. Y'all ready for the last round? It's going fast here. Must be a long workout. I better keep an eye on that. Jax, ready to go. Nice, looking good. One more time for those slow motion air squats in 3, 2, 1. I forgot to go slow. I was going kind of medium slow there. You guys are doing great. Kira, you reminded me of what we're supposed to be doing here. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful way to really be in that range of motion. Good mornings. Once again, let's do it. Get as deep as you care to go in your good mornings. Stay nice and tight through the front. Squeezing in around that low to mid back, all the way down. Lengthen tailbone out through the top of the head. Yes, beautiful, beautiful work. Just finish up wherever you're at. Squeeze back up. Maybe hit a few casual butt kickers. Grab a sip of water or something. Take that out for now. All right. We have 5 rounds of 1.5 goblet squats, 12 of those, followed by 14 clam shells each side. We are going for quality. If doing 1.5 squats with something is not going to work for you today, these are just air squats. It's great. Let me just tell you what we're doing, and then we're going to do it. I'm just going to talk through the 1.5 squat, and then we'll just get right into the whole thing. We don't need this sort of Damocles counting down over us here, do we? No. We'll just have the time to go. So 1.5 squat is going to be squat down to the bottom, up about halfway, boom, and there's that 0.5, and then we're back up. That's 1. We're going to see this 5 times. I'm going to do the first round without a goblet. If you want to have something, you're holding a dumbbell, a kettlebell, a sandbag, something up towards the chest, keep that thing really close, keep those elbows in tight. But again, we see this 5 times, so if you want to add weight for the next ones, great. I'm going to do 12 of these. If you want to do a different number in the time it takes me to do 12, great. Let's go. On your marks, get set, squat. Up halfway, back down. We don't have to do these super duper slow, but we probably shouldn't speed through like a bounce up kind of thing. We want to go a little bit more slowly so that we can be in control of that half squat. So if you want to go down and all the way back up a little bit faster, great. But let's take that middle piece just a little bit more slowly so that we can feel that entire range of motion. Big things here, keeping some tension through the middle of the body, keeping that low back relatively neutral through that half squat in the middle. is going to be important. Last 2 here for me. Again, you get to be wherever you want to with this. All right, and then we are lying on each side for 14 clam shells. You get to decide how you want to hold your head or neck. If you want to be all the way down, great. Here, instep of the feet are together, and then we're just squeezing the knee back in space. There's 1, 2. We're doing 14 of these. You get to do more or less as you like. Take a pause on each squeeze. Upper butt should definitely start burning a little bit on these. The faster you go, the less you squeeze, the easier they're going to be. That's 14 for me. Going pretty quickly. Switching over to the other side. Probably close to a 90-degree bend in my knees. If something a little bit more acute or a little bit more obtuse feels better to you, you go right ahead. Most people say don't be obtuse. I say be obtuse if you want to. You're always acute, even when you're obtuse. No, I don't know. Also, I forgot to count. Anybody? Oh, Beth's done. All right, 2, 1, there we go. Standing up. Round 2 of 5. I'm gonna add some weight here. You should feel free to do the same. Weight close to the chest, elbows in tight. That weight has become a part of your chest. Here we go, 12, 1.5 goblet squats. Count for yourself, or just do as many as it takes me to do 12. Quality over quantity. Weight balanced in each foot. Shared between big toe, little toe, and heel. Front of the body staying on to support the pelvis and low back through this movement. 2, last one for me. There we go, not too bad, not too bad. 14 clam shells. First side, again, do a different number if that's what feels best to you. Taking that moment to pause in the squeeze at the top is really where the work happens. There's 14 for me, other side. There's 2 and 1 for me. Take a little break. Something that can make a difference here is if you're leaned forward a little bit, this can be harder. If you're allowing the hips to come way back, it may be harder to feel that engagement here. So keeping like the hips stacked vertically will make this probably a little easier to feel that challenge versus kind of letting the hips lie back a little bit. You can play around with that. Round 3, it's the middle. Maybe you're up in the weight. Maybe you're just hanging in there. Here we go, 12, 1.5 goblet squats. Goal to get below parallel with the thighs to above parallel with the thighs, back down to below parallel with the thighs, and then all the way up. If you feel like you're in a super duper comfortable range of motion, try pushing that range of motion just a little bit further. See how that feels. Maybe coming up just a little bit more in that 1.5 squat will make this a little bit more challenging and get you into a place that you don't spend quite enough time in. Last one for me. Yes. Clam Shells. Again, tipping that top hip forward just a little bit may make this easier to find the challenge. Nice, nice. This last one for me. Heading over to the other side. I don't want to just give Marit compliments. However, she's the only one I can see. I know that all of you are doing great work. Marit, you are doing great work. Yes. Nice. I mean, I do want to just be giving Marit compliments, and I want to also give everyone compliments. Nice. Nice, optimistic, hop back to your feet, Beth. Yes. Woo, all right. 2 rounds to go. Take a moment, set an intention. Again, holding on to this activation might be sort of the most important thing with these 12 1.5 squats. Easy to let that back sort of arch to find stability. We want to hold that pelvis and low back neutral relative to each other. Here we go. 12. Nice work, everybody, looking good. Last one for me here. Yes. Nice way to work those ranges of motion. Finding something that is challenging but doable. 14 squeezes, nice. 1.5 puppy squats are a wonderful alternative. Pause in that squeeze. I'm switching sides right now. And that's 14 for me. Last round coming up here. Take a moment. Reset. Last round, best round. Really hold on to that form as best you can here. Slow these down a little bit. If you've been kind of racing through them. Here we go, 12. Begin. Notice it's also hard for me to compliment your form when I'm trying to keep track of reps, especially on a 1.5 squat. It's like a lot to hold in my head. Y'all are looking great. That's the best I can do right now. Looking so good. Yes, yes. Good use of options. Slow these last ones down a little bit if you can. You're gonna stay in that squat position. Find some fatigue there. I'm heading into my last one here. Nice. Nice. All right, let's get those clam shells. 14 per side. Pause in those squeezes. I'm heading over to the other side for my final 14. While you're down here, if you finish, warm up the bottom of your push-up a little bit. Lay chest to the floor, pull those elbows in towards the ribs with your hands flat on the floor. Approximate that bottom of the push-up. Spoiler alert, we got some push-ups coming up in our AMRAP. There we go. So hit the bottom, just sort of noodle around, pulling the hands back so that they're right under the elbows, and then squeeze the elbows into the chest. And just noodle around here a little bit. Get some other kind of chest opener in if that feels better. But we want to kind of feel where we're going to be for the bottom of our push-up. Doesn't mean you have to actually get here for the bottom of your push-up. Just trying to sort of open up the front of the shoulder dynamically enough. We can also do some air push-pull here to get that warmed up a little bit. Let's talk about this AMRAP that we have coming up. So we have 4 movements, 4, that's 4. We have 50, 40, 30, 20 is the rep scheme for a 12-minute AMRAP. Let's just practice these quickly. We have a weighted flutter kick, 50. So that's gonna be like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is how I'm counting. This is not necessarily a flutter kick, but this is a good place to start. Really focusing on, again, ratchet strapping the middle of the body down to the floor first, so that as we lift our feet, we don't tent our abdomen and all those stabilizing muscles away from the spine. We want to pull them down to the spine first and then lift from there. So we're kind of getting into a hollow body position. This bent knee kind of toe tap is a good substitute for a full flutter kick, especially if this does peel your back up off the floor. We want to be sure to really squeeze this down tightly. Flutter kick is going to be out here. Might be a little bit easier up here. So play around with that height if you need to. Weighted flutter kick is going to be with an object held up here. That's going to actually help to ground a little bit. But then as we take that off center, it's going to make this harder and harder and harder. Getting way out here is pretty devastating. I can't hold it way out there for 50. So play around with both the angle of the legs, whether the legs are straight or bent, and the angle of your arms, either centered or off center, more or less. This whole workout is made to be done with 1 heavy object, but if you have 2, you can do the whole thing with 2, and I'll show both of those options. Next, we get into 40 bent over rows. Again, if you have 1 heavy object like a kettlebell or a heavy dumbbell, you could do these split. So bending over, for a kettlebell, I can even touch the floor every time, trying to have back be neutral the whole time, squeezing back towards the bottom of the ribs, back towards the bottom of the ribs. I could do a double row with a kettlebell. You could do the same thing with a sandbag, where you're rowing 1 object, but doing both. Otherwise, I would switch halfway, so 20 on one side, 20 on the other, unless it's really heavy, and then you might do 10, 10, 10, 10. If you do have 2 lighter objects, you can do this version where you're hinging both down, rowing both up. Before you row, I want you to think hands at or just below the knees. It's pretty easy to be up here and think you're bent over, but this is going to be so much more close to a shrug than we really want. We want to get hinged over enough so that we're working sort of the middle of the upper back as opposed to the top of the upper back. After that, we're going to go into 30 snatches. It just says snatches, so you can do whatever you want. Kira, if you have your barbell handy, you can do barbell snatches. You can do barbell bent over rows. You could use your barbell for the flutter kicks as well. Two weights are going to be kind of tough to do snatches with. So this is really made for one weight. Dumbbell snatch is going to be dipping down, pulling that weight up, snapping it out overhead, catch with the legs, pop with the legs. If you do have a dumbbell, I like this orientation where it's palm out at the top, palm back at the bottom. So I don't ever have to like rotate this thing this way. It's just rotating like that in my hand. You do not have to go all the way to the floor. You do not have to do a full squat at the bottom. This can be whatever variation of a snatch that you want, from low to high in one smooth movement. If you do have a kettlebell and you're used to doing like a swing snatch, great, that's great. Sandbag, again, a little harder option in that it's a little floppy. Just trying to put in enough power so that it gets where you want it without going too high and then crashing back down on you, both for the kettlebell and the sandbag, also a little bit for the whatchamajigger, dumbbell, so you don't pull your arm out of the socket. And then 20 push-ups. You can do these elevated on a wall or an object. Try to hold yourself to that full range of motion, chest coming towards your object, whether it's the floor or whatever. You can do these on the floor. You can work your negative and then sort of worm back up. That's a great way to build into a full push-up. Otherwise, you do these down on the knees, up on the knees. Going for good quality. Practice a few of these. Note that at the top of our push-up, we want that shoulder forward. As we come down, we want the upper back to activate, and we want to pull the chest open so that we're stabilizing the shoulders with the upper back and the lats here. So it's like we're pulling ourselves down to the floor. Should have that feeling of everything opening, but also stability provided from the upper back. Cool. Let's talk about that one last time while I set up the clock here. 12 minutes is going to just fly by. We have 50 weighted flutter kicks. Count each flutter, 1, 2, 3, 4. 40 bent over rows, switching sides or doubles. 30 snatches, 20 push-ups. Questions before we begin? Y'all ready for this? I see it, you're ready. Do your best work. 12 minutes is gonna count down in 10. We're starting with those flutter kicks in 3, 2, 1. Ratchet the bottom of your lower back to the floor. Hold that tight. Modify where your arms and legs are to make this doable. Short, tight flutters are what we're looking for. Nice, Marit. Nice, Sarah. Nice, Kira. 40 bent over rows after this. Woo. Nice. Nice, Sarah. Nice. Rowing back so that we're rowing towards the hip, rowing towards the bottom of the ribs. Brace yourself in that bent over position. If being bent over for that long doesn't work, you could always do these from a tabletop position, or you could be braced on an object as well. That can be a really good way to support this movement while still allowing yourself to get a challenge. So switch it up as you need. Nice, nice strong pulls, Beth. Nice brace, good strong pulls, Marit. And feel free to switch up your movements at any time. Dang lawnmower just won't start. "30 snatches might go relatively quickly. Make the legs do as much of the work as possible. Every time I swing, my ear thing comes out. I have to do some pull snatches. Nice. Nice, good power. Blast out of that bottom position. Make that weight just float by the face as much as you can. Nice, Jen. Nice, strong overhead position. Those snatches should probably get your heart rate up. Try to breathe through those push-ups. Ooh, nice, Smart. Way to be nice and strict. Good range of motion. Nice, Sarah. Nice, strong range of motion, looking good. Nice, Kira, you got it. You got it, beautiful. Nice range of motion. Oh, it feels so gross from those burpees on Wednesday. Oh my goodness. Gotta do a little more smashing of those pecs tonight. Yeah, triceps, a little smoked. Yes, yes, yes. Take breaks. Do what you need to do. Oh, hardest 20 push-ups of 2021. I'm just gonna say it. Nice, everyone. Way to get back into it. Nice, Beth. Nice, strong position. Good, strong pulls. Looking good. Nice, Sarah. Nice, strong pulls. Nice, Kira. Good speed and position on those pulls. Woo! Yeah, it burns a little bit. Good pace, everybody. Nice, Beth. Good power, good pull on that snatch. Yes. Holy cow, 5 minutes remaining. Well over halfway here. Finish strong. Nice, Kira. Nice pace. Way to work hard, everybody. Spicy. Getting spicy. 4 minutes, last third of the time. Or sorry, last quarter. It's the last quarter. I know math. Woo. Nice, Jen. Nice strong rows. Looking good. Yes, Marit. You got it. Break it up, modify as you need. Oh, wait, now it's the last quarter. I do know math. I do know math. Oh. Oh. Oofta. Finish strong, everybody. Yes, nice, Beth. Nice, Jen. Way to get into those snatches. Nice, Kira. Nice pulls. Strong. Sarah, way to commit. Beautiful. Looking good. Nice, Marit. Beautiful toe point. Feel like it makes us feel stronger. Look good. Feel good. Into the final 2 minutes here. Getting into those final 60 seconds. Woo. Finish strong, everybody. Nice, Kira, the way to work strong through those snatches. Beautiful position, Marit. Finish strong, you got it. Nice, Beth. Nice, Jen, way to get into those push-ups. 30 seconds here. What is left? 20. 15. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Yes, beautifully done. Beautifully done. Oh. We are right at about time here. If you want to unmute yourself, say farewell. Great. Kira's out. She's got a tight timeline. I will offer some mobility, some thoughts on mobility once I can breathe again. Whew. You know it's going to start here because this is where I was feeling it personally. But let's talk about these two for those of you who are feeling that. Looks like everyone's kind of sticking around. All right, so written mobility for today's child's pose. Just hanging out there might be nice to do. stretching out through the back, etc. Well, let's talk about how to get your chest and triceps back to some semblance of normality. Actually, I'm loving the open scorpion. So this is a really good chest opener. I like that it does double duty because as I roll back towards the chest, oh, so gnarly. I can reach back and then I can get some hip flexor stretch on this other side. Ooh. So I'm gonna wanna do that for, some minutes on each side because right now it's feeling so tight and defensive. And so one thing you can think about here during these chest openers is taking this hand or this arm that you're trying to stretch and open and actually pushing it back down into the floor to activate the chest muscles. So right now I'm activating my right side chest muscles by pressing that hand down into the floor, taking a deep breath into my chest. And then as I do a long, slow exhale, I try to release all that tension. And then I might push myself to roll towards that arm just a little bit more. The other thing that we can do here is we can start with the hand in one place, and then we can walk that hand up a few inches. Usually down is a little bit less, so you might start a little bit lower, walk your hand up to straight out, walk your hand up another couple inches to get into some slightly more tight or different tissues. Again, pressing, inhale into the tightness. As you press, hold for 3, 2, 1, long, slow exhale. Control that exhale. That's the signal to your body to release. A long, slow, controlled exhale is a potent signal to your body that it is time to release and relax. All right, triceps. I have a kettlebell. Maybe you have a water bottle. Maybe you have something else. This is awkward. So actually, I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use a dumbbell. I saw almost everyone with a dumbbell. So it's probably hard to see this, but my tricep is on the dumbbell. Maybe this is easier. I forgot to get out my colorful mat, unfortunately. So here I'm just sort of rolling my arm back and forth. Pretend my hand is the dumbbell and you can see it, but it's sort of blending in. So I'm just trying to go across those muscle fibers. I could be on the handle of the dumbbell if I needed some extra focused attention. And then I can do some flossing by bending and straightening that elbow. Yeah, that's gonna feel gross. That's gonna feel gross. As long as it doesn't feel bad gross, it's probably productive. We wanna make sure those muscle fibers are separated. Just getting some pressure on them and sort of squeezing them out will help with recovery. But doing this for, 3 minutes on a side is going to help sort of break up some of that tightness and help them to heal in a fuller, more supple range of motion than they would otherwise. Building muscle that can move the way we want it to versus building muscle that's like super tight. And then over time, we have to like break it up and become flexible again. So there you go. Chest, tricep, hip flexor. 2 minutes at least per side, open scorpion. 3 minutes smashing, and then, some sort of tricep stretch like this might be nice after that. If you have, gosh, what did I just say? 2, 4, that's 10. It's only 14 minutes. I mean, I know not very many of us